Okay.
Bortle here at YCS feeling with, whoa, please introduce yourself to the world, man.
My name is Kritz. I'm from Kensington, Maryland. Didn't really expect much coming here. It's my first YCS, and I've only ever been to locals before. I've never even been to a regional.
Oh,
so,
what did you do today, man?
I made top 16 with Dinomorphia.
My goodness. What made you decide to play that deck for this event, man?
Well, I can't really afford good cards, so I figured I would just play a good deck that is pretty cheap and that I can afford.
Oh, wow. And I guess your deck survived the ban list?
It did, yeah. No hits.
Lucky. Any shout-outs before we begin, man?
I'd like to shout out Team Beige, apparently, and Dream Wizards. Also, I'd like to shout out my brother, because he got me into Yu-Gi-Oh! And is the reason I'm here. And also, shout out Xander, because he let me borrow a Psychic and Punisher, so that's cool.
Sweet. Without further ado, please show us the top 16 guru.
Alright. So, for the main deck Dinomorphias, it's 3 Diplos, 3 Therizia. These aren't mine. These are friends. I don't have Starlights. Therizia sets 1 from deck. Diplos sends 1 from deck to graveyard. Therizia is much better, but you want to play 3 of, or at least I want to play 3 of each, because of just resources, and you want them in deck to be able to fusion summon. There's an argument for 2 Diplos, but which I've been doing before, but I played 3 Diplos today, and I really liked it. There's also 1 Misk. This card is really nice just for protecting your guys, and also turn 3, you can banish himself plus some of your other dinosaurs to bring out another Therizia from deck, which really helps in your turn 3 and grind. The last monster is just 3 Ash Blossom. This card's just really solid this format, and it also helps you make Psychic and Punisher, which is cool. But yeah, that's it for the monsters. I don't know, I'm putting the opposite side. Next for the spells, it's just 2 Fossil Dig. This card searches Therizia, or if you already have it, it searches Misk, which is awesome. And 3 Pot of Duality. This card it just lets you look at the top 3, take 1. Most of the time during your turn 1, you're not normal summoning, or not special summoning at all. You can take it out for siding when you will be special summoning some more, but it's just in there because it's crazy. That's it for the spells. So to this side. And now for the traps. This is the bulk of the deck. 3 Domain and 3 Frenzy. These cards are the heart and soul of the deck. They let you fusion summon from your extra deck, which gets you out all of your big bosses. You definitely want to play 3 of each because it just lets you get into your extra deck and get into your big bosses. This one sends from, or they both pay half their life points. Obviously, that's the whole point of the deck. This one uses from hand fielder deck, and this one uses from extra deck and deck. This one's a little better, but they're both incredible. Next, I have 3 Dinomorphia Intact. This is a new card. It came out in Cyberstorm Access. Negate a monster effect, destroy it, and then when you take battle damage for the rest of the turn, you lose half your life points instead. So incredible. It's a monster negate, and it also makes it so you don't die during your turn, or during their turn.
Best card.
Best card.
Best card, 100%. He's a Dinomorphia card.
Next, 1/1 Sonic. This used to be a 3 of, and there's an argument for 2. But I would like it only at 1. It's just not really necessary now that you have Intact, which is another counter trap that stops you from taking battle damage, and it's not nearly as good as it, so I only play 1 of it. It gets a spell trap and it also destroys your own monster, which helps you get resources, but it's not incredible.
Did the second one ever come up?
No. Next up is for the Dinomorphia normal traps, or all the other Dinomorphia normal traps, is 2 Brute and 2 Alert. Brute lets you destroy a Dinomorphia monster you control and a card your opponent controls, which is really good, just stopping field spells, continuous spells, and just whatever monsters they have. Alert lets you special summon up to 2 level 8 or with a combined level of 8 or less, which is either both Therizia and Diplos, or just the Rexsturm, or just the Kentrigino, which is incredible. You play 2 of each of these so that you can set it off of Trap Trick, which is also great for helping get your fusion spells when you don't have them, and bringing back your Rexsturm. Continuing with the traps, there's 3 Solemn Judgment. This card is just incredible for the deck. it's a spell trap negate, and it negates summons, and it pays half your life points too, which is just incredible for the deck because you want to be paying half your life points for everything and getting them as low as possible. Next up, 3 Ferret Flames. This card makes your opponent shuffle monsters they control into the deck so that their combined attack is less than your life points. And because your life points get so low, because all your deck pays half your life points, it's really good at just clearing their whole board. And also because it makes your opponent do it, it affects unaffected monsters, which is very good for just clearing boards. This card is incredible. And last up is 3 Ghost and Match in the main deck. This card is more of a meta call because it's incredible against Kashtira because all of their monsters are different attributes. It's also pretty solid against Pearly with the light darks. It's pretty good against Super Heavy Samurai because some of them are darks, some of them are earths, and it turns off their non-engine. It's just very good this format, but with different decks you can play other cards here.
What's the overall main deck count, man?
Overall main deck count is it's 10 monsters, 5 spell traps, 25 traps.
Total count 40?
40, yeah.
40, oh, let's go.
Yeah. Next for the next we'll do the extra deck, I guess. You play 3 of all of the Dinomorphia fusions. Rexstorm is the best one by far. He's the floodgate who stops your opponent from using monster effects on the field. He also pays half your life points to set their attack, which is really good for stopping them from running over your things because you just pay your life points and their attack goes down. Kentragina is also incredible. It lets you banish a normal trap from your grave to copy the effect, which is most often going to be a domain or a frenzy. So you summon Kentragina with one of those, and then you banish it from grave to make the Rexstorm. Stealth Bergia is in here. I didn't make this one a single time today. It does come up occasionally, but generally you're just sending this one off of the frenzy for material. But it's worse than the other two. Also, all of these, when they die, they float into a Dinomorphia from grave. So you also pop them with your own spell trap sometimes. So it's really good for just getting resources and managing resources. Yeah. That's the fusions. Then for the non-fusions, I'm playing this. This could realistically be anything you want. These 3 are pretty solid. If you're not playing Ash, you obviously can't play Psychic and Punisher or another level 3 tuner. Dolka and Lagia certainly come up the most. They're really cool. Negating monster effects, and all your guys are dinosaurs, so you can make them. I made Castel once to out a Shangri Era, which is really nice for outing that. I didn't make either of these at all. These are really flex slots. You can play whatever you want. They're not super important. I make Lagia a lot more for the spell traps because you already turn off all our monsters. I made Psychic and Punisher a couple of times with Ash because it just wins the game. But these realistically are very open choice. And lastly, for the side deck, it's starting off 3 Anti-Spell Fragrance. This card is great. It's really good this format with all the staples that run around to out your Rexstorm. It also just turns off a lot of engine. It's really good against Pearly. It's really good against Kashtira. It just turns off a lot of stuff. Next up is 3 Summon Limit. This card came up less today and could definitely be taken out for something else. But you typically really only want to summon 2 times, your Kentragina and then your Rexstorm. And so if this stops them from playing, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if it hurts you a little bit too, because they can't play the game at all. And so it's really good at that. But these are only in the side because they don't do anything going second. Whereas Goes and Match can kind of clear boards going second. That's it for the floodgates on the side. Next up are 3 Droll and 3 Shifter for hand traps. Droll is just because it's really good this format, but as the format changes, you can play whatever you want here. Shifter I really like because going second, you activate it, and then your opponent, it works on their turn, and then on your turn, all you're doing is setting 5 or normaling a Therizia or whatever, but you don't send anything to graveyard on your turn that you care about, with a small exception of Diplos, but that doesn't really matter, because if this turns off their turn, it's really good. And there's not other stuff you can take out for Keshtira, so you just play this because it's really good against like Pearly and whatnot. And lastly on the side is just 3 Radiant. This could be other Kaijus. It doesn't matter a whole lot. In theory, it plays under your own Gozen, which is solid. And it's like Dark is the best attribute for that. It could probably be any other Kaiju, but it's just good at outing like a Noir or an Arise Heart or anything that's giving you issues. And you can take Duality out for it because Duality is obviously special summoning, so it's good for that. Yeah, and that's it.
Sweet. Well, congrats on getting your first top 16 YCS, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, until next time, everyone.
Yeah.